The simple act of rising from a favorite armchair or navigating a flight of stairs should never feel like a victory against the odds. Yet for millions of adults over the age of 60, these everyday movements are becoming increasingly treacherous. You may have noticed a subtle change in your stride, a slight hesitation before stepping off a curb, or a newfound reliance on handrails that once seemed unnecessary. This is not merely a byproduct of birthdays. It is the physical manifestation of a biological process that, if left unaddressed, threatens the very foundation of your independence. As a specialist dedicated to human longevity and musculoskeletal health, I have observed that the legs are the primary pillars of your freedom. And when those pillars begin to crumble, your entire world begins to shrink. Today, we are going to confront this decline head-on because the weakness you are feeling is not a permanent sentence. It is a condition known as sarcopenia, the progressive loss of skeletal muscle mass and strength, specifically targeting the type 2 fast-twitch muscle fibers responsible for your stability and your ability to react quickly to a stumble. Between the ages of 30 and 70, the average person can lose up to 25% of their muscular power. But this process is fundamentally reversible. We are not just talking about vanity or fitness in a general sense. We are talking about the critical restoration of your biological autonomy. In the next few minutes, I will provide the definitive scientific roadmap to reclaiming that lost strength. We will analyze 5 essential, biomechanically superior exercises designed specifically to bypass joint pain while forcing your neuromuscular system to rebuild. This is the moment you stop the cycle of fear and start the process of reconstruction. We are moving beyond superficial advice and diving deep into the physiological mechanics of how you can and will recover the power of your youth to ensure that your next 20 years are defined by movement, not limitation. We begin our reconstruction with the most fundamental movement in human existence, which is the functional chair squat, though we must approach it with the precision of a clinical intervention. To the untrained eye, this looks like sitting down and standing up, but for the individual over 60, it is a sophisticated recalibration of the posterior chain, specifically targeting the gluteus maximus and the vastus medialis of the quadriceps. You must stand with your feet shoulder-width apart, ensuring your toes are slightly turned outward to create a mechanical advantage for the hip socket. As you lower your body toward the chair, the secret lies in the eccentric phase, the slow, controlled descent where your muscles are forced to lengthen under tension. This is where the most significant strength gains occur. You are training your nervous system to handle the weight of your own body without collapsing, effectively bulletproofing your knees against the shearing forces that often cause chronic pain. Most people make the fatal mistake of letting their knees cave inward, which creates a disastrous chain reaction of joint inflammation. By consciously pushing your knees outward and keeping your chest elevated, you are engaging the stabilizer muscles that prevent falls. Once your glutes barely graze the surface of the chair, you must drive through your heels to return to a standing position, exhaling with force to engage your core. This exercise is the bedrock of mobility. It ensures that you can navigate the world from getting out of a car to rising from a toilet seat with absolute confidence and zero assistance. Building upon that foundation of stability, we move to our second essential pillar of strength, which is the standing calf raise, an exercise that is frequently underestimated but remains critical for preventing the most common cause of geriatric injury, the trip and fall. The gastrocnemius and soleus muscles in your lower legs act as the primary shock absorbers for every step you take. As we age, these muscles often become tight and weak, leading to a loss of dorsiflexion and a shuffling gait that invites disaster. To execute this with professional rigor, you should stand behind a sturdy surface for balance, rising onto the balls of your feet with a deliberate explosive upward motion. At the peak of the movement, hold the contraction for 2 full seconds to maximize blood flow to the Achilles tendon, which tends to stiffen over the decades. The descent must be twice as slow as the ascent. By strengthening these lower leg muscles, you are creating a powerful propulsion system that allows you to clear obstacles on the ground and maintain your balance on uneven terrain. This is not just about muscle. It is about the sensory feedback loop between your feet and your brain. You are sharpening your proprioception, your body's ability to sense its position in space, which is the ultimate defense against the loss of balance. If you find this too easy, you can transition to a single leg variation, but only once your stability is flawless. We are rebuilding your body from the ground up, ensuring that every fiber of your lower limbs is prepared to support your weight through any challenge the day might present. Transitioning from the lower extremities to the vital stabilization of the hip complex, we arrive at our third essential movement, the lateral leg abduction, which is the definitive solution for lateral instability. As we cross the threshold of 60, the gluteus medius, a muscle located on the side of the hip, frequently undergoes atrophy due to a sedentary lifestyle, leading to the dreaded Trendelenburg gait, where the pelvis drops and the spine compensates with every step. To perform this correctly, you must stand tall with a neutral spine, using a chair only for light balance, and lift your leg out to the side without tilting your torso. This is a battle of isolation. By strengthening the hip abductors, you are effectively creating a biological brace that stabilizes the pelvis and protects the lower back from the rotational stresses that cause herniations. It is at this critical juncture in our training that I want to pause and address you directly, as my goal is to build a community of empowered individuals who refuse to settle for physical decline. If you find this information valuable and want to continue receiving high-level, scientifically backed strategies for your health, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel right now. Furthermore, I am deeply committed to your personal progress. If you have a specific question regarding a pre-existing injury, a particular pain point, or how to adapt these movements to your current fitness level, please leave a comment below. I make it a priority to read and respond to your inquiries personally because your success is the ultimate metric of this channel's impact. With our lateral stability addressed, we must now focus on the fourth pillar of leg recovery, which is the stationary lunge, or for those requiring a modification, the assisted split squat. This exercise is unparalleled for its ability to correct muscular imbalances between the left and right sides of the body, which are often the hidden culprits behind chronic hip and knee misalignment. When you step into a lunge, you are demanding that your quadriceps, hamstrings, and glutes work in perfect neurological harmony. The technical execution requires you to take a long stride forward and lower your back knee toward the floor, keeping your front knee directly over your ankle to avoid excessive patellar pressure. This movement mimics the high-demand action of climbing stairs or recovery from a stumble. It forces the body to manage its center of gravity while in a split stance position, which is the exact moment most falls occur in the real world. As an expert, I cannot overstate the importance of the mind-muscle connection here. You must feel the tension in the leg that is forward, using it as the primary engine to push yourself back to the starting position. We are not just building muscle mass, we are retraining your brain to coordinate complex movements that preserve your dignity and your physical independence. By mastering the lunge, you are ensuring that your body remains a capable vessel, able to handle the rigors of an active life with grace and power. Having meticulously reconstructed your foundational stability and bilateral coordination, we arrive at our fifth and perhaps most critically overlooked exercise, the single leg balance with a controlled knee lift. While seemingly simplistic, this movement is an exquisitely precise neurological recalibration that directly combats the age-related decline in proprioception and kinesthesia, your body's innate ability to sense its position and movement in space. After the age of 65, a significant portion of falls are attributable not to a lack of raw strength, but to a momentary lapse in balance, a failure of the smaller, intrinsic stabilizing muscles of the ankle and foot to fire synchronously. To execute this with the clinical precision it demands, stand tall, gazing at a fixed point directly in front of you to maintain your visual reference. Slowly, with deliberate control, shift your weight entirely onto one foot, lifting the opposite knee to a 90-degree angle, as if preparing to march. The subtle, involuntary oscillations you feel in your standing ankle are not signs of weakness, but evidence that your body's proprioceptors are actively engaging, sending urgent signals to your brain to prevent imminent instability. This is not about brute force, it is about finely tuning your internal gyroscope. Hold this position for a minimum of 30 seconds, striving for stillness. The common error here is allowing the hips to sway excessively or using external objects for too much support. Your goal is to minimize these compensations. This exercise directly trains the often neglected tibialis anterior and the perineal muscles, which are vital for foot clearance during walking and for adjusting to uneven surfaces. By mastering the single leg balance, you are not merely performing an exercise, you are actively re-engaging the intricate neural pathways that safeguard you against the unpredictable challenges of gravity. This is your biological insurance policy against the debilitating consequences of a fall, ensuring that every step you take is grounded in unwavering confidence. Beyond the meticulous execution of these 5 foundational movements, the efficacy of your strength recovery regimen is inextricably linked to the cellular environment you cultivate within your body. The most expertly performed exercise yields suboptimal results if the body is not supplied with the precise biological building blocks required for muscle repair and growth. This brings us to the critical intersection of nutrition and longevity, a domain where precision is paramount. For individuals over 60, the phenomenon known as anabolic resistance becomes increasingly prevalent. This means that your muscles require a higher threshold of protein intake to stimulate muscle protein synthesis, the process by which your body repairs and builds new muscle fibers. Therefore, a daily intake of approximately 1.2 to 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight is not merely advisable but essential. Prioritize high-quality, bioavailable protein sources such as lean meats, poultry, fish, eggs, dairy, and plant-based alternatives like legumes and tofu. Distribute your protein intake evenly throughout the day, aiming for at least 25-30 grams per meal, as this optimizes the muscle full effect, maximizing the anabolic window. Furthermore, adequate hydration is not a peripheral concern. It is a fundamental requirement for cellular function and nutrient transport. Water constitutes a significant portion of muscle tissue, and even mild dehydration can impair strength, endurance, and cognitive function. Aim for at least 8 glasses of water daily, adjusting for activity levels and climate. Lastly, consider the often underestimated role of micronutrients. Vitamin D, for instance, is not only crucial for bone health, but also plays a direct role in muscle function and strength, with many older adults exhibiting suboptimal levels. Magnesium, another vital mineral, is involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions, including those crucial for muscle contraction and energy production. While a balanced diet is the cornerstone, strategic supplementation, under professional guidance, may be a prudent consideration to bridge any nutritional gaps. This holistic approach, combining intelligent exercise with precise nutritional support, creates an internal environment where your body can not only recover lost strength, but thrive, ensuring your muscular regeneration is both rapid and sustainable. The journey to reclaiming your strength is a testament to the power of informed choices, transforming the inevitable march of time into a trajectory of sustained vitality.